Welcome to the HMO Property Show. By investors, for investors. Catch us weekly as we discuss all things cash flow positive property investing. Whether you're a seasoned investor, a new landlord, or just curious about property investing, this is the podcast for you. Sponsored by the Co-Living Collective, your trusted partner in creating vibrant and sustainable shared living experiences. Visit us at colivingcollective.com.au to learn more.
Welcome back to the HMO Property Show. I'm your host Neil Gibb, and today I'm coming to you from Munich Airport. And if I'm looking a little bit tired, if you're watching this on YouTube and I'm looking a little bit tired and a little bit dishevelled, and I'm probably sounding a little bit tired as well, that's because I am. Because on Thursday night at 3 o'clock in the morning, England played Holland in the Euro semi-finals, and they won. And that meant that they played Spain in the final, which was in Berlin on Sunday. And if any of you know me, I'm obviously English in England. Football is in your blood. You're brought up to love the game, and my wife knows how much I love the game, and she's extremely patient and very, very generous with how patient she is for the love of the game. And I had a friend in South Korea who messaged me and said, man, it'd be so good to be in London right now. The atmosphere would be electric, wouldn't it? And I just said to him, why don't we fly back for the final? And he said, well, why don't we just go to Germany if we're going to go to the final? And I said, yeah, let's do it. And then he said, well, I'll only go to Germany if we can get tickets for the actual game. So I went online, and they weren't cheap. Well, the ticket that I bought, I realised the guy made 100x on me. So he paid €300 for it, and I paid 3,000 USD for the ticket to be in the stadium to watch England play Spain. And we got beat. We were outplayed by a much better team. But the experience of dropping everything at the drop of a hat, I had no idea, no inkling. Going to Berlin had not even entered my mind until we got to that final, and my friend said it to me. And then once it was in my mind, I was kind of like, this is going to be epic. So I obviously cleared it with the boss first. Thank you, Joanna, if you're listening to this. She knows again how much I love the game, so she just said to me, just go. You've got it in your mind, you can go, but I need you back on Tuesday. So on Thursday afternoon, at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I found some flights online on Qantas, and I got a lot of Amex points. So my plan was to transfer my Amex points to the Qantas website, and then use my Qantas points to pay for the flights. Now there's a certain time frame in between transferring your points, right? So I bought the ticket. I transferred my Amex points from Amex to Qantas because there was reward flights available, so I could have got there for a lot cheaper than what I had to pay in the end. Whilst they were transferring, I bought my ticket for the game, and then once I bought my ticket for the game and I had the Qantas points in my flight account, my friend messaged me from Korea and said, I don't think I'm going to go, mate, I've got cold feet. Now by this time I'm committed. So I got my points into my account, went back on the website. The reward flights had gone, so I couldn't get my reward flights. So I had to pay for the business class flights return. So at the drop of a hat, from waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, the game finished at like 5ish, and then literally 9 hours later, I had spent over $20,000 on flights and tickets to get back to watch England for the final. And it was incredible, absolutely incredible. Now, I would not have been able to do this, and the whole reason that I'm telling you this story is because I would not have been able to do it if I never had started investing in real estate, if I never set up my business, if I never got myself in the position that I'm in now. I would not have been able to drop that kind of money on flights and tickets to follow something that I'm extremely passionate about. But it was incredible. So my flight path with Perth to London direct on the 16 and a half hour flight. Then I had a few hours in London. I flew from London to Munich, and then I flew from Munich to Berlin. 3 flights, 1 train, and a taxi. And the day before, I got there on late Saturday afternoon. I went down to see where all the England fans were. They were kicking on. They were all singing and chanting. I was starting to feel a little bit jet lagged, so I went to bed early. Had an early night, which was like 8 p.m, which is very early in Berlin, which I managed to find out. Woke up the next morning at 6 a.m. I thought, right, I'm going to go for a walk, stretch the legs, get some fresh air, hopefully grab a coffee like you can do at Perth at 6 o'clock in the morning. But in Berlin, the only thing that was open in Berlin was nightclubs kicking people out. So there was all these people falling out of nightclubs all over the place, and I'm walking around in my shorts and my singlet vest, trying to get my steps in. it was surreal. And then, went back, had some breakfast, got showered, went down to meet all the England fans, and like the atmosphere was just electric. There was a big canal running through the middle of Berlin, and all the England fans put flags along the sides of the canal with where they were from. So there's Middlesbrough flags and different parts of England flags, Leeds, Manchester, stuff like that. And they were all singing and dancing. It was just the atmosphere was actually absolutely electric. And then we jumped on the train, we went to the stadium, got to the stadium, the atmosphere was electric again. And then I managed to get into the stadium, which I was a little bit nervous because I bought these tickets online. They had good reviews, which was good enough for me. And once that ticket got sent through to my account on the day of the game, I could relax, I could enjoy the day. Unfortunately, we got beat. We were played off the park by a much better team. But tying it back into real estate is, just having been in the position to just drop everything like that and go and pay the money that I paid is the reason that I started in real estate. And if you've got a passion that you want to follow, something that you really love but just don't do enough of, then I ask you, why do you not do enough of it? Why do you not get more of it? What would you truly like to do? Because 10 years ago, I was an electrician working for Chevron, and I was terrible with money. I had no property investments, no business experience. And a quote that I normally say is, live a few years like most people won't, so you can live the rest of your life like most people can't. Now, there's lots of people out there that can do what I've done, don't get me wrong. But if you're listening to this podcast, then you're listening to it because we try and motivate, entertain, educate and inspire people to invest in anything, whatever you need to do. But please invest in something, whether it's property, whether it's a business. And if you've got a business, and you procrastinate and over setting it up, just know that an imperfect plan in action is better than a perfect plan on the shelf. Because if you have got a business idea and you know that it can change your life and so many other people's lives when they get access to your product or service, but you're waiting for the perfect time and the perfect moment to launch that business, let me tell you now, it's never going to be perfect. No business is perfect. But if you take the steps you need to take, you will look back in 10 years' time and think, wow, I'm so glad I did that. And I am so glad that I started investing in property 10 years ago. Because, and the other saying that they say as well is, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago and the next best time is today. If you feel like you can't invest in real estate, you need to change that narrative and say, how can I invest in real estate? And you can do that with joint ventures, no money down deals, creative financing. There's so many ways. Even now we still do joint ventures and creative financing deals. Like, your money is better off in your bank rather than handing it over to people. If you can be creative and structure a deal and it works for you and it works for them and someone else can make some money as well, that's perfect. But please, if you've got something that you're passionate about and you want to do more of it, then take in risks now. Small risks, they don't have to be big risks, but if you don't risk anything, you risk everything. Everything has an element of risk attached to it, and everything worth having is worth working hard. So this is just a short podcast today because my flight is about to leave and I need to get packed up and I need to go. So I hope it inspires somebody to take some action, get out there, follow your passions, follow your heart, do the things that you love doing, and have great experiences, because life is all about experiences, right? We only get one shot at life, one crack at life. This isn't a trial run or anything like that. You don't get to the end and go, oh, I want to come back and change the things that I did. You're going to have to do them now. So if you want a better life, a better outcome, you need to make changes now. Start implementation, taking small risks, being creative, doing deals, getting yourself in the position that you need to be in so that you can live life on your terms. So join us again next week, and remember, every master was once a disaster and every winner was once a beginner.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you tune in the same time next week so you can stay up to date with all cash flow positive property updates.